Hey, this is Don from Pylog Technologies again with another video. Today we're going to talk about remote trigger black holing, which is the predecessor to BGP flowspec. Now, if you don't know anything about flowspec, I'll put a video somewhere up here, probably going to cover my face, to a video that I did on BGP flowspec. But this, like I said, is the predecessor to that technique. So basically, you've seen this lab before in the flowspec video. Now we're going to talk about remote trigger black holing. So basically what this technique is it's going to allow us to cut off communication to a certain prefix based on a community string value. So what's going to happen is your PE is going to get a community value, and then it's going to take that community value and do an action on it, right? In this example, what we're going to do is we are going to get the community string and we're going to set it to a null route. This is the specific technique for remote trigger black holing because you're going to set it to a null route. When you set a BGP route to a null route, it means you can't get to it. If you know anything about BGP best path selection, the first criteria is that can I get to the next hop? So if I can't get to the next hop, it just invalidates the route altogether, and then it will just make sure that none of the other PEs see that route because again, it's going to a null route. So why would you not do this technique? Well, very specific reason. It's an all or nothing thing. So when you say, hey, I want to stop traffic going to this certain prefix, it's for the entire prefix for every traffic type known to man, right? Where flowspec comes in, and again, watch the other video, is you can specify what traffic cannot go to that prefix. So if you're getting the ping of death or something like that, you can stop ICMP, but HTTP traffic or HTTPS traffic can still go to it. With remote trigger black holing, it's, hey, I'm stopping it going to this prefix, and that means every traffic type is going to stop. So now that we're looking in the lab, I'm not going to bore you with the BGP and MPLS and LDP configurations. You don't really need MPLS for this anyway, but it's just something I got a habit in, and I just do it all the time. But this is all GRT. There's no VPN. There's no MPLS VPN in here. Now, the gray circle here is the black hole, and R17's loopback is the victim. So right now, from a routing perspective, I am advertising. Let's go in here, and we'll just look at the BGP table. I am advertising my loopback, which is 17, not 17, 17, 17. Yeah, 17, 17, 17, 17. I'm advertising that, and you know that because the weight right here means it's locally being advertised, right? This is my local route. So now, if we go to PE 21, which is technically going to be our black hole, what you will see, so BGP, PV4, unicast, what you'll see is we actually see that route in the BGP table with a valid next hop, right? Which is router 17. So now let's pick any one of these routers here. And let's look at our BGP table here. We should see 17 as well. And we do. So we try to ping 17. I should do it from this side actually. 17, 17, 17, 17. From our loopback here. Works perfectly fine. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to repeat that. Yeah, let's say, well, that's too many times. Let's say 10,000. But before I do that, let's talk about the technique. And let me expand this a little bit so you guys can actually see it because it looks kind of small. So let's expand this just a tad bit. Pull this to the middle. And what we're going to see here is first things first, we need to have the community. So I'm going to create a community list, an IP community list for this PE. Now, I technically did this on all the PEs, so if anybody sends that community string value, it will remote trigger black hole thing. But I'm strictly focusing on router 21. So let's look at our community. Now, that community is technically 65001 colon 9999. That's basically what it is. Okay, and that's community value I'm looking for. Now we could make it readable, but I'm not even going to go through the BGP command to do that. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to set a route map that is going to match that community value and then set it to the next hop, which is going to be a null route. So let's look at our route map here. And I believe I called it RTBH. And yes, I did. So here is RTBH. It's going to match that community value of 1, and it's going to set it to 192.168.1.254. Now, if we were to see, let me go, I'll just do it this way so you actually see the whole command, IP route. So what we're doing is we're saying IP route 192.168.1.254, 255, 255, 255, 255. We're null routing that, so we're just sending it to a black hole. Thus the term remote trigger black holing. Now the remote trigger is because the CE is going to send the community value to initiate the black holing. This is not just going to black hole by default. Okay. After we do that, we go to our BGP configurations. And what we're looking for is right here. We're going to say inbound, if we receive that community value, do something. Basically set it to the next hop, which is a null route. Now, the one thing that you also have to do here is you're going to have to send communities, right? You have to send communities. Now, I did send communities both, but you can do standard if you want. And that is actually right here. So in my policy here, I have to send community both. That means I can understand the community value when it comes to me. If you don't do that, none of this is going to work. So now what we're going to do is on router 6, I think I got 10, I'll do 100,000. It gives me a long time. So let's say blitz of death, right? It's happening. Oh my God, something's going on. I need to do something about this. So what I'm going to do, if I can do it in time, is we're going to move this up here while this is going on. Hopefully I get this in time. So what we're going to do is go to BGP, router BGP 65001. Now we're going to go to address family. Actually, we're not 3. Sorry. We're going to go to address family IPv4 unicast neighbor 172.31.50. Now we're going to have a route map, RTBH out. And then we're going to clear the session BGP soft out. And as you can see, as soon as I did that, black holed all the traffic. Now, let me show you the route map on the CE side, because I forgot to show y'all that. So if we look at the route map, we're going to match this access list, which is basically a host access list. So we go to show run section access. We're just matching this host route, which is the loop backup 17. So we do show run internet 17. As you can see, that's the host route, right? So we're going to match that host route. Then we're going to set the community value to the, again, 65001 colon 9999. And then you also have to do this because you don't want every route to have this community value, because then you just black hole every piece of traffic. We're just specifically worrying about 17, 17, 17, 17. So now, once I send that outbound by using that route map saying, hey, when you advertise outbound to the neighbor, if it matches his access list, you're going to set this community value, send it to the PE. The PE sees that on the inbound side. It says, hey, if I see this community value, I'm going to send it to the next hop, which is a null route. And that's where the black holing comes from. So remote trigger means the CE is sending something to the PE for it to do a certain action. Totally different from BGP flowspec. So now if we go to the PE now, and we just do show BGP IPv4 unicast, and we're going to do 17, 17, 17, 17, you will see that before it was reachable via the neighbor, which was 172.31.5.1, I believe. All right, let's expand this just a tad bit. 5.1. All right, which was the original. Now it got changed to the next hop because it received that. Remember, here it is, community value. It received that community value, and then it said, okay, well, since I got that community value, I'm going to set it to this no route, and now it's inaccessible. So when it's inaccessible, what does happen? Black holes the traffic. And if we look at the BGP table for that route there, as you can see, 17.17.17.17 does not have the little caret over there that says it's the best path selection there. So this is why it's black holed. So now this should still not work. If we were to go to here again, go to router BGP 65003 and we get an IPv4 unicast. And now we go no. I'm just going to scroll up here and just grab what the command I put in there. I'm just going to paste this in here. And then you know how long it takes, so we're going to do a soft clear for BGP. Be careful, always use soft if you can. I could have did soft out and pings are working again perfectly fine. So that was remote trigger black holing. If we go back to here and we look at 17.17.17, you see the next hop has now changed back to the normal next hop. And now that it's reachable, we will go back and now you can see it says, hey, my next hop is 172.31.5.1 that is reachable. And because I could reach the next hop, now best path selection will happen. And this is a lot, so let me stop this ping death going on right here. I'm on the Mac, so I may be calling some stupid nonsense. 6. Come on. Oh, I thought I had it right there. What? Apparently I do not. We are not even going to bother with this right now. So anyway, because I'm getting ready to shut this down. That is remote trigger black holing in a nutshell. Now, you may say to yourself, am I ever going to do this in real life? Probably not, because you have BGP flowspec, and that's a way better method of doing this. But if you're going to take an exam, sort of like your service provider, CCNP, CCIE, I'm not going to say CCNA, but CCNP, CCIE, service provider, they may ask you to do this technique and not BGP flow spec. So you need to know how to do this. And again, I went over the concept a little bit. And you know how I always say concept over configurations. Now you know the concept and you know the configurations. Again, this is a very cool technique. Do I see this out in the wild? Not as much as you would see BGP flow spec in a service provider network. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Again, bring more people in, help me grow this channel. I really appreciate the subscribers that I've had so far. You guys are, you're watching the videos. I can tell you're watching the videos, so I know you're liking the content, which gives me more ideas going forward. I'll give you a little bit of a preview. I will be working on a Catalyst Center video series coming soon. When that video drop, if you're subscribed, you'll know when that video drops because I'll put it out immediately. Again, this is Don from Padlock Technologies. Thank you, and have a nice day.